Thanks and welcome to join me on the 6:15. I'm Kejang Henry at Timby. Reflect on. Relief has turned into heartbreak for the Nga family in Yaoundé, where 4 children abducted in Kuseri have been freed. Their eldest son was confirmed dead in captivity, leaving the mother torn between joy and devastation. And 2 weeks now, commuters in Bonaberry's Douala Western Gate have been trapped in paralyzing traffic jams. Frustrated residents blame the long-delayed road networks and say diversions are impossible, warning the jam is crippling trade and daily life. And as the October 12 presidential election draws closer, the G20 platform has again reaffirmed its backing for President Paul Biya, unveiling 15 new political parties that have rallied behind the incumbent. Top stories. Welcome back. You can hook up with us on our respective platforms on Canal International. Now, begin from Yaoundé, where its relief has actually turned into heartbreak for the Nga family in Yaoundé, where in fact 4 children were abducted in Kuseri. Now, while they were freed, the eldest son has been confirmed dead, and so this has left the mother trapped in a whirlpool between joy and devastation. Details in the full report, courtesy Heisenberg.
Inconsolable, Annie Florentine Nga on bended knees, lashing out her pains. Crisscrossing the space of the living room, train questions no one could answer, asking why her case is different. For many have been kidnapped along the Marwa Kuseri stretch, Cameroonians like foreigners, and have been released.
Dites-moi, les blancs ont été enlevés, tous ont été retrouvés. Qu'est-ce que l'enfant d'une pauvre femme mère célibataire pas mourir?
The single mother, whose 5 kids were kidnapped last August 13, heard the eldest had been killed after the first captives were released, thinking a mistake now confirmed the harsh reality.
Je veux le corps! C'est le corps que je veux! Le corps que je veux! Le corps de mon enfant! Remettez-moi le corps! Remettez!
19-year-old Eddie Brian Jean Besala is a lower to upper sixth student at the government bilingual high school Kuseri, far north region of Cameroon. Simple and most obedient of all her kids. How is she to cope with this? She cries.
Toujours présent, dès que je touche un peu maman, tu veux quoi?
Relatives, close ones at the family residence this 22nd August could not hold back their tears, seeing the agony of this mother who had worked and worked to raise up her kids. Like many Cameroonians, Annie Florentine Nga also got the information on television. No one has officially reached out to her.
À travers la télé que j'ai appris que les enfants ont été libérés. Personne jusqu'à présent ne m'a contacté concernant ce problème pour me donner des informations sur mes enfants.
The relief of the release of the other 4 children now clouded by this tragedy. The released kids are undergoing medical attention as their abductors took them to neighboring Nigeria. Some 50 suspects, we also learned, have been arrested in connection with the abduction.
Oh, very sad indeed, pathetic. Thanks very much, Beatrice Nkamu. From one sad story to another, and this time as shock and grief actually sweeps across the Ebang village in the outskirts of Yaoundé after a man allegedly killed the wife of a suspected infidelity and, of course, attempted to eliminate the wife's lover. And as Shandam struck the man, Beatrice Nkamu says this is more than heinous.
In In their 5 years relationship, they've parted ways 30 times. And this, he says, is because of her infidelity, his own side of the story. Quarrels, fights, and battering, their way of life. So too the change of neighborhoods, buildings, and so on. Once she's not around, he is not himself. It's like a bond.
Quand elle part, je me retrouve très mal à l'aise. Je suis obligé d'appeler et demander pardon.
The incident of last August 19, a case that ended fatal. He took his said wife out, and while drinking, he asked her about the suspected neighbor boyfriend. Her denial amplified his anger.
Ce jour, j'ai toujours frappé comme je frappe souvent, mais c'est parti très loin jusqu'à qu'elle n'est plus revenue à la vie.
Then came the determination to end it all. He went to the said neighbor, inviting him for a drink, and after many bottles, while on their way home, they moved into action.
Environ de 22 heures, dans un bosquet, il a
Around 10 p.m., going home around a bush, he hit the other man with a hammer. He fell and went off. Thinking he is dead, he dragged and left him by the roadside. Satisfied, he then took off for Ebebda, Lekki division of the Central Region, for refuge. As fate would have it, he is the very one who called the landlady announcing the lifeless body inside a basin in his room. After the neighbor has recovered, pronouncing him as actor of his situation. Informed, the Gendarmerie Brigade of Soa signaled those of Ebebda, and the said actor was caught. He was brought back to Ebang in the outskirts of Yaoundé to replay the heinous crime.
Maintenant, je regrette très profondément. Je me dis même peut-être que c'est un rêve.
His narration, one without any remorse, as he replays the steps, stages, like a good actor on stage.
On ne le connaissait pas dans la famille.
Not known by the family. I've seen him once, the funeral of our late father, last October 4th, 2024, a troublemaker that came with problems on the day of burial. A set murderer, an attempted murderer, is now in gendarme custody, is to face justice in accordance with the law in place.
Very unfortunate there. Thanks, Beatrice, for those two reports. And for 2 weeks now, commuters in Bonaberry's Douala's Westgate have been trapped in paralyzing traffic jams. Frustrated, the residents actually blame long-delayed road networks or roadworks and say diversions are impossible. And of course, they have been warning that the jam is actually crippling trade and daily lives. Now, Sherifat Saleh went to Bonaberry, met some of the commuters and road users, and this is what she gathered as their reaction.
I'm about to travel to Tradex. I've already made about 2 hours on the way, but I cannot go there because the traffic is too much. And if I want to go and sell what I'm carrying, I will take about 2 hours, and it's not possible because you would see on the junction we have many obstacles there. We have many potholes. That creates obstacles that the vehicle cannot move. So it is really difficult for us.
Embouteillage is too much in Douala here, and you see accident is happening a lot of times. So if the government can do something, we'll be grateful.
I'm so very sad because I left my house around 6 o'clock going to Buea. But right now, I'm sure it's up to 3 o'clock. But I believe that if the government can even try and see about as far as the road is concerned and help us to expand the road, what my elder man here has said, it will be better because we are really suffering.
I left town at 1 o'clock. This 3 o'clock, I'm sitting in Bonaberry, and there's too much traffic on the way. I'm not sure if I will go out of the traffic now.
See, yesterday, I did Douala, I know if you go back for Kumba. All we would there would suffer. The road will come, you know if you enter Douala, you know if you come back. Now 3 days you are there inside embouteillage.
And as the October 12th presidential poll draws closer, the G20 platform has once again reaffirmed their backing for President Paul Biya, and of course unveiling 15 new political parties that are rallied behind the incumbent. And this was done during a press conference that took place in Yaoundé. High-Sincha report.
Just like in 2018, the G20 this August 22nd declared their endless support for President Paul Biya, CPDM candidates for the October 12th presidential election.
and following the realization of many developmental projects, economic and social improvement, the resolution of the Nozo Boko Haram conflict, among others, we of the G20 and 15 more political parties has today declared to throw our support to His Excellency President Paul Biya for his re-election come October 2025.
The leaders of the 15 new political parties that have joined the drumming of the Biya support say the incumbent president remains the only man for the country's top job.
In the context of Central Africa with CEMAC, West Africa, I think that our country needs today the man of experience, a man who can guarantee us the stability and peace. And amongst those 12 candidates, these 11 candidates of opposition, I think that there is no one able to guarantee us this stability and peace. So consequently, I think that my choice is an objective choice, because today we think that the experience, the man of experience, the man of the moment, the right man at the right place for this candidacy is Mr. Biya.
Bapoliport, Jean de Dieu Momo and other leaders of the movement emphasize that the name remains G20 no matter how many parties it harbors, because it is a conviction not based on numbers. The G20 announces a heavy deployment on the field in the days ahead to woo voters for President Paul Biya.
And children who are preparing for the new school year have received a boost from the Minister of Trade that has actually launched a special back-to-school campaign in Yaoundé. And this, of course, is to ease the financial burden for the parents. Details with Huri Amadou.
The sales fair has brought together vendors of school supplies, uniform, learning material and others, offering them at promotional prices.
C'est vraiment abordable. Vous trouvez des prix honnêtement en dessous de ce que vous allez trouver dans un marché normal.
The prix, c'est quand même abordable.
The 50, 100, 500 and 1,000 price difference might look little, but the total sum to many very impactful.
Vous avez peut-être à dépenser 550 quelque part. Avec le 50 francs qui reste dans vos poches, vous pouvez vous acheter un crayon ou un stylo. C'est aussi quelque chose.
The major attraction, as confirmed by those who have already made a tour at the esplanade of the 20th May Avenue in Yaoundé.
C'est vrai, il n'y a pas d'argent dehors, mais c'est que quand j'ai 100 francs, je pense d'acheter un petit truc et mettre à la maison.
To the Minister of Trade, initiator of the promotional fair, the satisfaction of parents are relieved to the powers that be, making back-to-school preparation less stressful and more affordable for families.
Price has dropped seriously. What I have heard from the parents themselves, from the consumer. They are satisfied. They are satisfied by the quality of the product. They are also satisfied by the price. So I think that everyone is happy.
Beyond shopping, the fair serves as a meeting point where parents can share experience and learn about new trends in education. For many parents, the fair is very timely. Support in managing the heavy expenses of getting children ready for the 2025-2026 school year.
I come back to reporting there, and from quiet fields of agriculture to booming local trade, Kochong village in the west region of Cameroon has long made its mark, but the only way is just the recognition that community has actually received from the government, and now it has officially become a village with, of course, promises of visibility, unity, and greater opportunities. Morindi reports on the creation of this new village.
Kochong, a locality within the Bangourain subdivision of Cameroon's Nome division, has been officially designated as a village. This elevation follows a decree from the divisional officer of Bangourain, Jules Patrick Ndi, and an order from the Minister of Territorial Administration.
Ces populations sont très soumises à l'autorité traditionnelle et à l'autorité administrative.
Home to approximately 2,000 residents, Khon Chong thrive on agriculture, livestock rearing, and commerce. The community is noted for its harmonious coexistence of diverse groups, including the Bamoun, Bororo, and internally displaced persons.
C'était le désir profond des populations de l'arrondissement de Bangourin, principalement issus des villages de Bangambi, de Kouet et de Kouron.
Traditional leaders have welcomed the new status with enthusiasm. His Majesty Njoya Ibrahim, a local traditional authority, and Abubakar Siddiq, the quarter head of Kuchong, expressed joy over the recognition, viewing it as a step forward for the community. As the nation approaches its presidential election, local leaders are emphasizing the importance of peace. With Kotron's new status, the Bangurin subdivision now comprises 9 officially recognized villages, marking a milestone in the region's administrative organization.
Thanks very much, Maureen. Fear has become a daily reality in many of Douala's neighborhoods, but commuters, or rather communities, are actually refusing to surrender. And so from makeshift whistles and neighborhood patrols, they are equally struggling to craft their own shields of protection. And of course, this is actually to test whether or not solidarity can equally outsmash crime. Morindi. Unfortunately, we might not have more in this report, but we move over to culture. And this time, the Bell Royal Court in Douala has turned into what has been termed as a literary stage, with the launch of a new book that is celebrating Queen Clarice Douala Bell, whose legacy in entrepreneurship and humanitarian works continue to inspire generations. Serfa Saleh.
The book, titled Reine Clarice Douala Bell, Voice of a Tradition, Woman of People, is a 264-page book that sheds light on the inspiring journey of a woman whose influence extends far beyond the royal palace. Written by Francoise Angel, the book captures the unique blend of tradition, leadership, and social service embodied by the Queen. Angel describes the book as both an autobiography and a living testimony of royalty. Since 2014, she has followed Queen Clarice's path closely, compiling experiences and stories that reveal a leader deeply engaged with her community. The book underscores Queen Clarice Douala Bell's commitment to supporting disadvantaged communities and her efforts to bridge tradition with modern forms of leadership. Following the presentation to the press, organizers announced that the official book signing ceremony will take place in January 2026. For now, the book is available online.
Sheriff Asala reporting there and drawing the curtains for this edition of the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry Atimbi. We are thanking you for being there with us. Matthew Fanga is coming up just right ahead with Le Debrief de l'Actualité. Goodbye.